I'm doing the workouts and trying to eat better, but the scales aren't moving. How long should I realistically expect before I see results? Okay, so first of all, I would just be questioning, how long have you been doing this for? And how are you weighing yourself? So, if we talk about how long should I realistically expect before I see results, it depends what kind of results you're talking about. So, if you're talking about, are you measuring your progress as a number on a scale, as in you want to get to a certain weight, or are you measuring your progress in terms of what your clothes feel like, or maybe you're doing progress pictures, what your body feels like, or are you measuring progress in terms of your energy, how you're sleeping, how your fitness feels, how your strength is progressing, how you're showing up? How are you measuring results first? And what I would say is usually, so when people normally start with us on the 6-week course, or say you've been out of action for a while and you're now doing the 21-day challenge and you're going to go for it, usually you start to see results in 1 to 2 weeks in the way that you feel better. You feel better in yourself, you feel more energized, you feel happier, you feel more confident, consistently exercising and looking after your body and eating well in 1 to 2 weeks. And at the very start, if you're on a weight loss journey, and I presume this because here the question talks about scales. If you're on a weight loss journey, at the very start, you tend to find a bigger drop in weight. And you may have experienced this before, and that's because we're losing a lot of water in our glycogen stores as well. So you experience that, and you tend to find that after a while it tapers off, and sometimes it just feels like it won't budge, and then it goes again, and then it won't budge, and then it just kind of happens like that. And we just adjust and we tweak along the way. Now, so we usually feel better in 1 to 2 weeks, and we feel less bloated. We do tend to see a bit of a drop in the scale, like quite significantly as well, because of the water, the glycogen. Yeah, a bit of fat loss as well. And then after about, well, week 2 to 4, we start to notice our strength improving. We really do. We start to notice our strength improving. It's an amazing feeling. And then about week 4 to 8, we start to notice it ourselves in the way that we look. And then it's about 12 weeks ish, roughly, that other people start to notice too. So, I mean, you can take it, all of that is obviously context dependent. All of that depends on how rapidly we're losing weight, how we're looking after ourselves, what we notice ourselves, how we're measuring our results, etc. So, but just to give you a bit of an idea. So, when most people come to us on the 6-week course, I usually find that week 1 and 2, they're feeling a million times better. Week 3, 4, they start to notice things in their day-to-day life and notice that things are feeling easier. They also notice that they sleep better about week 3 to 4. And then week 5 to 6, that's when they're really starting to notice the shape in their clothes and how their clothes are fitting them. And then obviously beyond the 6-week course, that's where we want to just continue with getting results to where we're at a point where we feel like, actually, no, this is my healthy range. And don't ever forget that maintenance in a healthy weight is within a range. Our weight fluctuates sometimes by quite a lot, sometimes by, 5 pounds or so, or a couple of kilos, and whatever it is, particularly as women. And that can vary for different people, but maintenance is a range. So please never forget that. Now, with weighing ourselves, now, firstly, I would definitely be measuring progress in other ways too. Like if you're wanting to say, you're wanting to feel healthier, you're wanting to get stronger and have more energy. Okay, well, they're the things that I've been measuring as well. So I might be taking progress pictures 6 to 8 weeks apart so I can see the difference, so I can see the shape in my body. Maybe even taking measurements if you feel okay measuring yourself. And if you find that weighing yourself or measuring yourself actually has a really negative impact on your motivation or your body image or how you feel about yourself, stop doing it, because you don't need to. Okay? You don't need to. People have lost weight in the past without scales, without counting calories, without MyFitnessPal to feel healthy and to be healthy. You don't have to. So what I would do is maybe take progress pictures. You can use measurements if you want, measure your waist, etc. You can track that in the journal. In fact, you can add your photos to your journal as well. Nobody else can see it. It's all for you. No one else can access that. And if you're going to weigh yourself, some people don't mind, and some people see it as a piece of data. And that is how you should see it if you weigh yourself. It must be at the same time every day. First thing in the morning, same time, and you take the lowest weight of the week, because that is the closest to your true weight. It takes out any water fluctuations, because our weight fluctuates all the time for lots of different reasons. So take the lowest weight of the week, and then you have a zoomed out picture of what's actually going on with your weight over the weeks. And you also, when you do it like that, you start to see it as a piece of data as well, and you start to understand fluctuations. So that's what I would do. And if actually you're saying, yeah, Lorna, I've done all of that, I've done all of that, but I'm just not losing weight, like the scales just aren't moving, then I would say, okay, well, if you've been having consistent meals, drop your portion sizes by 20%, give it 3 or 4 weeks. You should see a drop. If you don't, go again. But if we're not having consistency with our diet, how can we expect to lose weight as well? So I would have same breakfast, same lunch, or maybe two that I alternate in between. Dinner, I would have a protein source, a carbohydrate source, and then some salad or some veggies, but basically keep it pretty similar and just rotate like a protein source or rotate the carbohydrate source, having a similar sort of portion size. And then maybe 1 to 2 snacks in a day, one fruit and one protein base, like boiled egg or something, or a Greek yogurt. Then you know where you are. And if you're not losing weight in 3 to 4 weeks, but you've consistently been having the same things, and it's not being consistent Monday to Thursday, and then Friday you had a takeout, and then Saturday you went out for cocktails, and then Sunday we had the roast and some pudding, and then we had some wine, and then we sat on the sofa with some chocolates. If you're consistent, then we've got a base. We've got a base. And by the way, I'm not saying that you can't do those things. Of course you can. And I highly encourage you to live your life and to do those things as well. But we have to be really sensible about it as well. We have to be really sensible, make choices align with our goals, maybe have the one hell yeah thing a day and enjoy a little bit of something. But then we just need to think about, okay, we're being as consistent as possible. It's not working. Right. I'm going to drop portion size by 20%. Be as consistent as possible. And if you just keep doing that and keep tweaking without changing anything else wildly, you will see a drop and you will get results. And just to give you a bit of context, we want to be looking at 1 to 2 pounds loss per week, no more than that.